Bigfoot Club. Bigfoot Club for life. Too sweet. Bigfoot Club for
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigfoot Club. Robert Jesse Dominguez, Ash Tucker, Steven Robert Dominguez. Believe in us. Believe in Bigfoot Club, because we are too
Hey, this is Jason McLean, author and illustrator of Metroplex Monsters, and you're listening to Bigfoot Club Podcast.
Hey, everybody. I wanted to mention that if you're listening to Bigfoot Club on any of these platforms, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, Google Play, Alexa, YouTube, Listen Notes, or Deezer, please give us a comment, a like, a subscription. Give us a follow, and we would greatly appreciate it, While you're at it, why don't you head over to Facebook or Twitter and look us up at Bigfoot Club 1, that's number 1. If you have a story or any experience or just would like to give us some feedback, maybe give us an email at bigfootclub1, that's number 1, at gmail.com. For more Bigfoot stories and other cryptic tales, head over and check out Matt Nabb's YouTube channel, Bigfoot Crossroads and Cryptic Tales. For your paranormal experience, please listen to Crazy Cat Paranormal Speaks with John and Cecilia Clark. They are also available on all platforms.
Hey everybody, Robert Jesse Dominguez, Bigfoot Club, episode 36. I'm here with Ash and Steven. How you guys doing?
I'm great.
Steven?
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. And I feel mediocre now.
This is our, I'm so excited. This is our anniversary show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Monday, October 5th was our anniversary. So that was on Monday, and today is the 9th. So this is our anniversary show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
No one sent us a cake or any flowers, and I gotta say, I'm kind of disappointed, guys.
Yeah,
but maybe they just weren't aware. So, I
didn't get a bouquet or nothing.
And my birthday is next week, too.
It is.
So
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Happy Anna birthday.
And a birthday. So I should get 2 separate cakes, guys. This is a different event.
Yeah.
An anniversary. So, quick question to you, Robert, and obviously you, Ash. Did you think it would make it this far?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And it takes you a minute to find your formula, and I think we're good. And also, the show split in 2, and I think that that's a pretty cool move in all directions, because it gives opportunity to expand on both markets. We were having a discussion before, like our first few episodes, we had different segments, and each segment had like different topics to talk about, and it's like just a couple. And we didn't really get in depth to a lot of stuff, like as opposed to now. We either have our guests or we have our specific things that we talk about, and we can really kind of get into the meat of stuff instead of just like on surface level.
I was just actually going to give you a shout out to Robert's other podcast, Ringside View podcast.
Yes.
With you and Earl the Pearl. I actually heard episode 3 yesterday. Yesterday. And y'all have a really, really cool intro. I'm a little jealous.
Well,
the guitar playing on it is actually a little too good.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of my birthday, if anyone wants to get me a present, I've been looking at some beat makers to try to start doing stuff like that for our promos and
oh, okay.
so on, or just for fun. Kind of just for fun more than anything, but it'll work, because the stuff that we did last week is just our voice, and like it would be a lot better if we could make some
Robert Cuddy,
some music here.
Get Ash a present.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to give me an Apple MacBook Pro, that would also help too.
Yeah.
You can actually do a lot of good editing.
I mean, I've seen some for like $120 and like the ones I'm looking at.
Yeah. Not necessarily if you want to give me the new generation.
Yeah.
If you want to, that's fantastic. But if I would be happy with just the 2013
We
version.
need a sponsor too.
Yeah.
But to get back to your question, Steven, I thought we would make it this far. There's like I was saying, there's Chris is no longer part of the show. Steven Tucker is no longer part of the show.
Was Steven Tucker ever really part of the show?
Yeah, but he was in an episode. I know.
Episode. That's a guest appearance.
Oh yeah, he was, man.
That was the only episode I wasn't on. And
Yeah.
look how well that went.
Yeah.
So lesson learned that you guys don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wow,
carry
I
this.
totally forgot
My
about
back
that.
is killing me.
I think.
Yeah.
But I think right now we're doing well. We got more downloads per show now, and I
It's
think
getting better every week.
I think our chemistry is really good. That's just how I feel. I think we're doing well, and the future looks good. So I mean,
And I think we're networking well
yeah,
because we have a lot of potential stuff that might be coming up, and it's from just friend of a friend is like, oh, I know this guy, shoot him an email, or this person asked about this, and so I told him about you, and yeah, it's exciting.
yeah. We're supposed to be being promoted by Bigfoot Evidence.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. So
They've been around.
That's
for
pretty good.
forever.
yeah, Bigfoot Evidence is probably one of the biggest Bigfoot websites around. So they got a lot of subscription people on it, and people just go to that one a
So
lot.
fingers crossed. Please like us.
Yeah.
And if you hate us, maybe that's good too, because
Yeah.
they say there's no bad publicity, right?
Hey man, I this is a wrestling term for me. I can be a baby face, I can be a heel. I don't care.
Whatever. But I think I don't think we're that bad.
No, we're not.
I think at first we
No.
just had a lot of shit on our chest that we needed to get off and get out, and
Yeah.
it's we're good now.
Well,
We've been there, done that.
I
covered
think
that
you're
ground.
good. I don't know if I am, but
Well, I mean, I just feel like we've covered that.
Right.
And now we can start getting into some serious shit, man.
Yep.
I'm excited.
So we're gonna be doing this anniversary show. Hopefully, we're gonna probably break it down in two, and then I'm gonna be in New York next week. So I'm doing
On my birthday.
Yeah,
They didn't
on
even
Ash's
invite
birthday.
me either.
So well, it's work related. So
Well, I'm going back to Arkansas
yeah,
for a few days.
I wanted to talk about some of the shows that we did this past year. I know it's like season 1, season 2, but we started in October 2019, and we ran into to December, and then we took a break,
Yeah.
and then we started season 2 in January.
So we had
Of
a
2020.
short first season.
Yeah, it was a short. It was like 10 episodes.
10 episodes. Yep.
So there's probably like 2 episodes that stand out the most for me on that one. The first one is Mean Girls.
The one that nobody listens to.
I think right now it has like 118
We should have
downloads.
promoted that the other day.
Yeah,
We need to do that from now on. Just like, listen to this one.
yeah, because
We'll get,
Listen to Mean Girls.
We'll get a listen a year.
I kind of like that one. And
I do too, but
it was one of my favorite ones that we did, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a good time. I mean, I enjoy all the podcasts, but that one to me, it was because like we were kind of picking on Steven's wife Blair, because like she was picking on us. She was saying that we were mean we were mean because no one else. We're mean to everybody who doesn't know enough about Bigfoot.
aw,
Right.
So I go, did you listen
It's-
to the whole episode?
Yeah. It was targeting
It's glib.
a group of individuals that
It's not everybody. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it because I actually want listeners to actually listen to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. I'm gonna play
yeah.
it right now. So
I wanted to talk about the main name of the episode called Mean Girls. So, one of my relatives, Blair Dominguez, she said I could use her name. So I was
Use her
like,
whole name.
okay. So Blair Charles Dominguez. She because she has the boys, and so I go see the boys all the time. And so when I was playing with bats and cards, and she comes
That
up to me.
sounds different than since people don't know their names. I was playing with bats and cards.
Yeah, he was swinging.
Like one
he was
guy.
hitting
Is
playing
it-
cards with baseball bats.
Well, Bats is Sebastian. I call him short for Bats, and Ricardo is cards. So he says Cardo. So
Cardo Minguez.
Cardo Minguez, yes. So she came up to me and she says, "You and Ash sound like mean girls." And I go, "Okay." And she says, You guys are just mean to anybody else that just doesn't know anything about Bigfoot." And I said, "Did you listen to the whole podcast?" Because I explained it. So
It's not that they don't know about. I mean, it's that they act like they know, and they're just pulling stuff out of their butt. You can't sit with
So that was
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't do my homework, so I didn't know which ones.
yeah.
Of all the parts.
I downloaded some clips from the movie Mean Girls, and so we were using certain
Gretchen.
sound clips at certain times of the episodes, and it was kind of funny because I threw you guys off, and I think at the time it was early, so I'm still not that way. I'm not punctual on the sound bites.
It was a little random, but I guess that adds a comedic element.
So
It's worse now, so that's good because we don't really use them.
yeah, we don't use them that much anymore. We've kind of graduated.
It'll be like 10 minutes later. It'll be like, hang on, guys.
I don't know. I really like that breaking news sound bit you always do.
Hold on, I gotta find it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, hold on. But
Go, Steven.
That news is already fixed.
So that was one of my favorite episodes, and right now it's probably the least downloaded show.
Oh, well, what can you do?
Yeah, so that one was really cool.
Well, yeah.
Our next clip it was still season 1, episode 9, Synchronicity, and it was the first one. It was the first one Steven was a part of. Steven,
Yeah.
what do you recall about that one?
Yeah, and I did I guess a cool fact that was actually kind of it gave you goosebumps.
Yeah, it was
In a way.
that was a strange one, man. It was
I mean, it was,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. So
I liked it a lot. So I mean, this one I like because it was the very first time we actually moved all the equipment and we went to Steven's apartment,
yep.
and so it was the first time we actually went mobile.
Mobile.
So
Carrollton.
so
To Carrollton.
let's listen to that one.
Oh, a fun fact.
A fun fact, and
Oh, Chris, you just lost your job.
no, Chris, I promise you, I just wanted to, since you weren't here, I wanted to keep that alive on the episode.
You lost your job.
We're talking about synchronicity and how creepy this is.
Yeah.
The author of the Mothman Prophecies, John Keel. Okay. 52 years ago to this day,
Today?
the Silver Bridge collapsed.
Today.
Today.
You
December
gotta be kidding.
December 15th, 1967.
So
Wow.
December 15th. A day
Yep.
will live in infamy. But so I picked this one because I thought it was kind of unique and Steven's first show.
Yeah.
And it was a good fun fact, and it was like a tale of things to come. So and
Yes.
that one,
A lot of things.
Yep.
A little foreshadow.
Yep.
A bridge
Well,
collapse.
I mean, yeah, it's hard not to get into that mindset when it
Yeah.
comes to that show. But the way that it all kind of came about and stuff is like, maybe that's the right thing, because they say when you start seeing things like that, that means you're on the right path.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows? But of course, it could just be that's what you want to believe. But I like it.
I had fun on that episode too.
Yeah.
It was like
You know what was terrible during that time? I was so stressed, depressed, because I was working at Dart. And I remember doing that episode during that. You guys took my mind off of that for the first time in a long time.
Right.
yeah, because
Okay.
So,
Well, I kind of touched on, I guess it was last week, about how it's, a nice I hope that we can be that for everybody right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
Mm.
and it's kind of that way for me too. You know, I come do research, which is like an excuse to watch documentaries.
Yeah.
I'm doing research. I mean, it counts, but that's something I enjoy and that I can do and just kind of like be out of everything because it's not in the realm of what's in your face every day. It's just like,
Exactly.
you know, there's so much shit going on right now that they literally admitted that UFOs exist and people are just like, yeah, figures.
Yeah.
And just went about their fucking day.
Yep.
I like to think that we're an avenue to help people cope, in this time. So,
and if it's, not necessarily for an experience, which of course we're 100% here for, but for community and to have something to talk about and just unplug.
yep.
Get away and maybe
yeah.
explore something outside of yourself.
It's just something to listen to. So being a part of that that episode it'll mean a lot. It means a lot to me to be a part of that episode, and it took away like just that moment of being away. I have to go to work tomorrow. Oh wait, no, I'm doing a show right now, and I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
So
I know you were pretty stressed, and I'm glad that you're saying that we took it away, even if it was for, because I think we were doing the show for like 2 hours at the time.
Yeah, it was. I think that episode was probably almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it went by so quick because I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
Just talking about other stuff that wasn't in the real world today, but it is part of the world. Like just the mysteries and all that, and Mothman and all that. It was great to take my mind off something else than that.
Yep.
So
Mothman thick.
Yep.
Mothman.
This next one that I chose, this was actually the first episode of season 2. So we did this one in January, and we also went to Hawkins, Texas, to go to Luke Gross's house, and we did it there because I don't think he just didn't want to travel, and I said no, I'll go to you, and so I say this all the time. Luke's my mentor, and
Mine too.
and he's taught me everything that I know. So I was really happy because like it seemed like we talked like for 3 hours before we ever actually recorded anything.
Yeah, I don't even know. It doesn't seem like it, but then it was like, man, we gotta wrap this up because we went and did that little investigation.
Yeah.
That night too, and because I had to turn around and go to work in the morning.
Hallsville, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that did suck.
And it was just like, man. So it was still winter, so it got dark really early.
Yeah. But this is one. You were actually asking Luke a question on this one,
Okay.
so I'm gonna play it. real
I
quick.
actually got to ask him a question.
Yeah, you got to ask a question as part of this show.
Wasn't there a story, I think, that you told me about one that had gotten hit by a truck?
Mm-hmm.
And something like that happened?
It was in Sulphur Springs, as a matter of fact, I'm 19. A woman was driving her car and hit one. And this Bigfoot was in her windshield. And people were saying, they were driving by, and they were saying, well, there's a bear stuck in her windshield, But the law came out, shut the highway down, and a flatbed pickup truck come and took it away. And a military truck.
Do you recall what year this was? Or
This was in the 70s.
okay,
I can't give you the exact year, but it was in the 70s.
Wow.
And they hauled this. Okay, look at this. Look, imagine if a species of large primate was discovered roaming the North American continent. Can you imagine what it would do to the timber industry?
Exactly.
That's what I was trying to lead to on the question was if they proved it exists.
Yeah. To use an example now, like the thylacine, the Tasmanian tigers.
Right.
There's lots of sightings of those, and they believe that it's real, but the thing that drove them out into extinction and what keeps people from wanting to admit that they're probably still there is the timber industry, because you find out there's a movie called The Hunter that's about exactly that, and people were starting to get, for the cinema's sake, people are starting to be murdered by whatever these timber industry people, because you find out an endangered species is in an area. What happens?
Right.
They shut all that down.
Yeah.
A little bitty owl did that in the state of Oregon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I talk about that movie a lot.
Yeah, you do. You should-
But it's a good example, and that's.
It
I mean,
is.
of course, I don't think anyone's been murdered because of that. But I mean, allegedly, that's why, because that's a big thing for them there. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Spotted Owl, same thing. You know, Ivory Bill Woodpecker, same thing.
See, I don't recall Luke telling me that story, but I think I heard it from someone else. I can't remember, but man, we've got to get Luke back on.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We need to get back out in the woods.
Yeah.
I remember you said, "Hey, we're doing season 2 and we're getting Luke." I go, "Man, what an intro to do a opening season
Yeah.
with Luke." So I mean, it's a shame that I wasn't a part of it, but you know,
Yeah.
Well,
All-
next time.
next time, yeah, definitely whenever Luke is on, especially when Luke, Tim, and Ken, we just got to get them all back.
Yep. Yep.
Hey.
This next one is still on season 2. It's episode 6. Cassius Clay, Tim Clay.
Oh.
That's what I call him.
It's like,
So-
I don't remember that episode.
Was there any incidents or reports? Because I know that was all on the old TBRC website, and you did sighting reports and stuff. Was there any particular sighting or field report that stood out the most?
There's a couple of interesting ones, and one of them was, and I can't remember which river. I wish I had my notes on me. I can't find them right now, but there was, I think, 2 brothers. They had been out doing some fishing or hunting, and one of the brothers had stopped for some reason. Another brother kept walking along, and the one brother that had stopped sat down and leaned up against a tree and was waiting for his brother to come back. And as he's sitting there, he all of a sudden, he's right next to the river. He can hear something splashing. And then all of a sudden, something, I guess, came out of the water, and he could hear then steps through the leaves. And where he was at, it was behind him. And he kind of leaned around and looked behind the tree and saw one of these things come out and onto the trail that where he had been walking, and then walked right past him and then cut back into the woods again. And it said it freaked him out really bad. This thing was huge.
So this thing just came out of the woods, saw him, just kept going, just strolling.
I don't even know if he had noticed the guy, because he had looked around and saw what was coming, and then kind of hid back behind the tree again. And then it just kind of walked right past him on the backside of the tree and never knew he was there. Just hops out and is heading in a direction and just gets spotted.
Did you go out? Did you investigate this? I mean, did you go out and investigate it, or was this like a phone?
It was phone.
Okay.
He had written it in, and then I called and chatted with him. And another one was some kids out near Longview, I believe, Kilgore, out there at some lake, and they were fishing and camping, and I think it was at night. And then all of a sudden they look up, and one's standing right there at the edge of their camp area. It had just walked up to see what was going on. They freaked out and started shooting at it. I think they had like a 22.
Good idea.
Shooting a BB at a freight train.
Yeah.
So, but it took off.
Yeah.
I realized it had a little stinger there, and took off.
Yeah.
I can't imagine shooting a Bigfoot with a 22.
I mean, I guess maybe if you're afraid, but I would think at that point I'd just like, nope.
They were really trying to piss it off.
I would just hide. If I, I would hide before I would try to shoot it with a, I would fight it with the gun before I would shoot it with the 22.
Yeah. Tim is one of my favorite people in the world, and I love him to death. And so yeah, I was talking with him earlier in the week. I told him I had to get him back on. So I was trying to hopefully get him and Ken Marvel together at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
that would be great.
So to get them both together, and they would tell lots of stories on that one. So Ken and Marvel, he's got tons of stories, and man, that guy, he just doesn't stop. But anyway,
That's the best part about all of this, man. I mean, even because things like that, when they happen, it's like 2 seconds of, all night investigation, and it's just like, you can't hear my snap. But you know, it's
I saw it though. I
yeah,
saw your
okay.
snap. So
Yeah, just in audience, just imagine I snap my fingers really loud. But you know, that's how it is. That's how it is with like the ghost hunting stuff.
yeah,
Like that one little like 5-minute event after all night, and that's like the one thing that's happened for months. Ugh. But and then when you're hanging out, that's what I liked about that too. When we go to conference and then afterwards, and then going drinking and in Jefferson and just like trading stories and having fun. That's better than anything else, you know.
Yep, I agree. Especially when you're with people that you enjoy being with. So
Yeah.
that's even better. So this next one was Steven. You were a part of this one. This was season 2 again, episode 8, the Colorado Peeper. Do you guys recall this one? This was
yes.
Yeah, that's a
No, if I remember correctly, that's the one where it's like pictures of Bigfoot looking through a window.
It was pictures of a video. Yeah. Of, Bigfoot.
Yeah. Pictures of a video, like peeking through a window.
Which was odd about this one is that there was like multiple pictures, and there was a couple pictures of it closing its eyes. And I recall whenever I first saw this link, I can't remember who sent it to me. If it was Tim or somebody, maybe it was Tim. And I forwarded it to Luke, and I don't think Luke looked at it right away. But then our guest from Longview, John Doe, I sent this to him. I said, "Hey, I know you saw Bigfoot. Look at these pictures and tell me if it's close to what you saw." And so he looked at him and he says, "Yep, everything's, the nose, the eyes, and the shape of the head. Everything was spot on."
Man.
So I thought that was cool that he saw it and was able to give me feedback on it. So, so let's play the clip really quick.
There's been some pictures going around on the internets, and I posted this on the Bigfoot Club Facebook page. It's singularfloridian.com, and it's images of a Sasquatch encounter in Bailey, Colorado in 2017. And the guy, Tobias Whalen, posted this on March the 16th, 2020. And it's a picture of, and it's from this guy named Scott Yeoman. He's on another Facebook group page too, so I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Bigfoot Now is the Facebook group page. And it's a picture of a Bigfoot peeking through the window. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know. I'll let y'all comment on it right now. So
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I saw it, and like I told you earlier, it looks creepy, but it could also, be fake.
Yeah.
At the same time, because anyone could get black paint and cover their face, and anybody, the eyes look black, so anybody brave enough to put black contacts on for pictures, I don't know.
Yeah, because like the pictures that are posted on there is like, it looks like someone had a screen and then took a picture with a camera or their phone or something. So
that's what you said it was, wasn't it? That he took pictures out of, he had a video and then he lost the video in a house fire.
Yeah. So supposedly it was in 2017 in Bailey, Colorado. And it's 8. He says it was 8 acres, and it's alongside a mountain about 11,000 feet up. So it's he says there's a lot of game there, and there's bears and cats and stuff. And so he was not. I think whenever it happened. Hold on here. He said what I thought was kind of interesting. I was reading a story, and he said he thought it was a bear.
Right.
And when this thing came up, and the thing that really caught me when I was reading the story is that he said this thing was swaying back and forth.
Right.
And so that's
not common knowledge.
Yeah. So that kind of caught me a little bit.
And I thought it was kind of interesting. He said that,
And he closed his eyes.
yeah, it closed his eyes like almost like a kid, you know, like, hey, I'm, you know, he can't see
They
me.
do that, don't they? They
Yeah.
like they'll do like.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people mention that be like, oh, you can't see me if I can't see you, kind of thing. you
Right.
know?
And what really caught me was that the swaying back and forth. And so the guy said it was a Kodak, it was an older Kodak, digital camera, and he said he said that he had like a 10-minute video, and this thing was hanging out in his window for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. So I mean, what do you do for 10 minutes if you see a Bigfoot out the window? I mean, I don't know what I would do, but
Yeah, I don't know if I would do
That's what I kinda was
anything.
hoping.
Just stand there. Like that was all that I could think to do. Just stand there and
yeah,
watch.
he's probably frozen and stuff. So what were you
That's
saying?
why I was kind of hoping that the video would still exist, so you can hear the fear.
Yeah.
If you can hear the quietness, you can see. Even if you don't see, if it's not a good quality picture and you can't see him swaying, but you can see him pointing, like, you know, recording a window. That's what I was kind of hoping, but I was like, okay, it got lost in the fire. But I will point out that on the face where you can see where he's like directly looking at the camera, and you see the black eyes, you see, I don't know, right above his nose, like there's like 3 dots that kind of look unique.
Let me
I don't know if that's just the
me try to pull
reflection
that
of
up.
the.
Now
I don't know if it's the reflection of his face, but I thought that it was unique. Like he's got like there's like 3 dots or 4 dots.
let me try to pull
Like
that
1,
up.
2, 3.
Is that the one with the eyes? The eyes really good.
Yeah, the eyes are really good. Like you can see the eyes, and you don't even see the nose yet. You can see like the
Yeah,
the bridge of the nose.
yeah, I do see that.
There's like 1, 2, 3 dots, and then there's one above the middle one. So it's like 4 dots.
Maybe a flash or something. I don't know.
It could have been the flash, or not literally the flash, but it could have been a flash of
Because you can see right.
it, but
Yeah, you can see like right above its head where the head would be. There's another like light there too. So
yeah. So I don't know if that's why I thought it was kind of unique. Like maybe it's his, I guess like his muscles. Like you know how we have that whenever we're trying to look at something, you know, we kind of squint or
The
you know, like our
furrow of our
muscles,
brow.
the skin,
yeah,
the skin like kind of pulls up whenever your eyes kind of
protrudes
So I thought
out.
that was kind of
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of unique to where it's like it could not be fake. You know, you could definitely see some muscle tone there in the face.
Yeah, I mean, since it wasn't a flash. I would you know, the first kind of thought, because actually Tim sent me this video like I want to say last Monday, but I didn't see his email until like Wednesday or Thursday, and I was already looking at this already, and he sends it to me, and he asked me, hey, can you send this to Luke? So I sent it to Luke. I sent him the pictures, and so I was trying to see what he thought, and I don't think he saw it until I think late yesterday. Because like I know since this was a video, this kind of struck me that I kind of thought the eyes would be red if it was a flash. So it wasn't a flash; it was a video. So what Luke was kind of saying was, because I don't think he read the whole article, and he was trying to saying that anybody in a mask or anybody with CGI can fake stuff, but he was interested in seeing the video. So I don't think he read the article all the way.
Right.
And so, because I know Steven kind of touched on this a little bit already, that, you know, the guy, whenever this happened, from what I was reading, you know, the Bigfoot was standing outside the window for like 10 minutes, and his wife finally walked up and said, hey, what are you doing? And then she says, hey, what's that? And, you know, and she freaks out, and she runs into the bedroom, and, you know, he runs after her, and then runs after her, I think, a gun inside his closet, and he notices that the Bigfoot was running away, and I guess his wife got, you know, panicked, and so his kids took his wife away, and so he went to his mom's house to go download this footage, and apparently his mom's house burned down and lost the video. So that's kind of, you know, coincidence, but
It was the Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Part of the fire.
So that was a pretty good end there, Steven. So,
Oh, Lord.
I didn't realize how analytical you were on this episode.
Yeah, I remember because I remember looking at those dots, and I was either saying, is that maybe acne, or is that like the muscles? Yeah, like the muscles.
Yeah.
On it. I go, man, I don't remember saying it that in that way. So that's why I was like, and I said unique like 10 times.
Yeah.
Lord.
It
Well,
happens.
I talk about that
Yeah.
freaking Willem Dafoe movie.
Yeah, and I always
every
go
goddamn episode.
like that. So
This is a learning experience for us.
yeah, man, it's
You know,
okay,
for
dude.
seasons.
But I really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
Let's jump over to the next one. It was still season 2,
Yeah.
episode 12, Ken the Marvelous Marvel.
Oh.
That was one that Steven wasn't a part of, and you initially wasn't a part of because Ken can only do it on a Saturday,
Right.
like during
in
the
the
day.
morning.
Yeah, in the morning. So
I got a stupid work every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
So Chris and I did this one. We recorded it, but then I played it for you while we did the show. So
Right.
here we go.
That cemetery, I'm going to assume it's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, but if you notice, if you remember, on the graves, it was young people that were dying in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
So these are pioneers probably moving north or south, and they were getting robbed. Remember, some of the history was it was violent because you had a lot of outlaws that waited for people coming from Texas over the river, get in Oklahoma, and they were robbing them and killing them. There was a family that lived there in early 1900s. Don't recall the name. Apparently, they do have some ancestors still living in Thackerville or somewhere around the area. But they kidnapped a gal off the Chickasaw Reservation, and they enslaved her, they raped her, the whole works. And the elders came looking for her. Or she finally escaped, and she told the elders, "This is what happened to me, and this is who's calling the shots. He's a patriarch. He's nuts." And they went and they grabbed him, and they didn't kill him. But what they did was they staked him to the ground at Brown Springs, slit open his stomach so that the man dog could have an easy feast. That's part of the man dog. So the man dog legend has been around for quite a while in that area.
It was that in the Gainesville story. They kind of let us there, right, Ken?
Oh, the girl, yes, the girl that's happened to her, yeah.
But
so that was Ken the Marvelous Marvel, and he was talking about the history of Brown Springs.
It's fucking brutal, man.
Yeah, and that was one of the stories that we heard before we went to Brown Springs, before we got that news about the lady from Greenville that was killed over in Thackerville and stuff like that. So I thought that was an interesting one. Ken's a funny guy, and he's got tons of stories, and he's really good about telling stories too. So like I said before, we got to get him back on. So I think that was the first time I learned about editing.
Yeah.
So I got really good about editing and stuff like that. So
Hey,
this next one I want to go over is Brad Freeman. So I don't know if you know this, and Brad, I apologize for saying this on the show, but Brad is no longer doing paranormal stuff. He stopped.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, he's devoted all his time to seminary school now.
Okay. Well,
so,
I mean, that's kind of what happens to a lot of us. We get busy in our daily lives. So.
yeah, so he gave up doing Panther City Paranormal, and he broadcasted it live and said, "Hey, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'm getting out of paranormal, and I'm just going to practice on doing what I love." Is he wants to be a priest, and I got kudos to him.
Right. I mean, I'm sure that's a lot of work, a lot of studying, and and this and that.
So this next clip is for him. This is Brad Freeman and Lauren Gonzalez when they were part of Paranormal Expeditions of DFW.
You remember before we started the podcast, remember we were talking about religion and all that stuff, you know, bringing into investigation. I just wanted to touch on that because I think it's an important part. I always ask, the client, are you religious? What's your religious views?
Right.
That way, if, say they're Baptist or something, I can get a minister, or if they're Jewish, I can get a rabbi, or get somebody ready to go in case we need them. So I got my ordination. Yes,
Ordination.
I have such a hard time with words today. I got that for this purpose, but I've been building on spiritually and religion because I feel like people need that, especially nowadays. But it's cool, whatever you want to do. But like Lauren and I, we just converted to Catholic today.
Catholicism.
Today, and
Catholicism.
Yes, and we're getting ready to start our
minor orders.
In the priesthood. So we're going to become priest.
Nice.
This is not Roman Catholic. This is Old Catholic. So totally different. So we're going to go that route, and maybe we can help with cases and stuff like that.
Congratulations, man.
So
yeah,
Thank you. I mean,
congrats.
When it comes to that sort of thing, when I had, an organized team, we kind of were like, nah, not so much, because we felt like not everybody's going to agree. But when it comes to that side, that's why I kind of don't like teams. It's like, do your own thing, but just kind of just let people know and be like, okay, is this cool? Yeah, okay, that's all it takes. And when people start being like, nope, this is how we're going to do it.
You mean like a disclaimer?
Like a disclaimer, yeah.
And seeing we don't press any of that on anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine until someone starts telling you what's right and wrong.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
No, you don't.
There's no excuse for it. I think it's in our rules.
Yeah,
it is.
That's good to actually put that in there because it's important.
That's where. Go ahead.
I just think it's important that you provide that to the client. The client needs.
I do that with the group too.
Yeah. So the client gets to pick and choose when they want help, and I go, okay, if we find out you have something going on in your house, how do you want to proceed? Stuff like that. So I think that's important.
And then if you're doing it to your members, you're putting a limitation on them.
Right.
And they can't be freely to investigate how they investigate, and you're losing out when you do that.
Yeah.
So
good point. I
know
like
what
that.
I mean? We don't put. I don't want to put a glass ceiling over my team's head. Where they can see the goal but they can't reach it.
I mean, there's plenty of times we went independent because when we had our team, we associated a lot with the downtown program, the historical society. We did a lot of fundraising for them, so of course they probably wouldn't want a whole lot of stuff going on. But there's a lot of times we just went with a group of people from other teams and went out here and just did whatever and was kind of, I wouldn't say unprofessional, but not as buttoned up, I guess you could say, more relaxed.
Yeah. What's funny is that when I picked that clip, because I wanted to perceive them as they were open to help anybody for any kind of background and stuff like that. And I picked the clip before
you knew
before he announced that he was leaving the paranormal.
Dang, man.
So
synchronicity.
Why do we keep doing it, man?
Huh?
Shit like that keeps happening.
Yeah. I mean, I think he just wanted devoted time to it. And
yeah.
So
and kudos to him on that. To following what he wants to do on it.
Yeah.
He also has I realize he has a very calming voice.
Yes.
So that works in both podcasting and what he's going to do. So that's awesome.
This next clip is one of the subjects that I really care about is Indra Cole.
That hit when it allegedly recently spoiler that he died in a crash with one of his companions, and I can't remember what his name was, but
it was Demo Hassan and Carl.
Okay, so then
Argo?
there was two companions, and then he had his kids too. So it's like they were just basically family, more or less, with these people, and they still, they say that they're allegedly, Woody's daughter interviews a lot and speaks a lot on it and says that, that the sons still visit from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was Connor and Connor.
Connor and Connard.
Connard. Yeah, that was kind of odd, but
Wow.
but you know, it was just kind of odd that, you know, whenever he did get stuck, whenever he first runs into Indrid, he talks about, I know I didn't say it, that he was about 182, 185, and he had a very good
About
tan.
6 feet.
Yeah. And then he said he was a searcher, and he meant no harm. And let's see here, what else did he say? He says, I sleep, I eat, I bleed, just as you do, and his country is not as powerful as yours. I thought that was kind of odd. If you could travel and, you know, different galaxies quick, I think that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when was this in the 70s?
Yeah. No, this was in the 66, 67.
Okay, in the 60s. Well, you know, and that's post World War II.
Yeah.
Most of the world was pretty still digging their way out of that. So at the time,
Yeah,
I
that
guess,
was-
you know, we were.
That was during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
So,
But, you know, it's still the Cold War and all of that. And the world is also cold, Indrid.
he eventually like goes home, talks to his wife, and he's like real nervous, and they call the Parkersburg police, and they actually come out the very next day. That happens, and then he eventually gets interviewed by WTAP, and he gets gets interviewed by them, and like they talk to him for like 30 minutes. And during this time, he meets with the TV station people, the city police, state police, the Air Force.
They're interested.
Yeah. And there was a reporter from the Centennial Parkersville. So it was a lot of people, and they end up interviewing him from like 2:30 to like 6 o'clock. So, and I think at the same time, whenever he's doing that, he gets famous. He gets famous, and then like everybody in town like shows up to his house. So he comes home from work a bunch of times, and there's like 150 people in his yard.
And Indrid could have been there, and they would have never known.
They would have never noticed. So
That's what's interesting to me. It's just like, you know, who knows who's out there?
Yeah.
They just then we all look the same.
But
We
did he
all
ever
look the
get-
same, but
did you ever what?
Did he ever get his chapstick?
no, that was what's in his hand.
Why you keep getting me on these crazy one-liner finishers?
I know. Oh no,
But
he's
did-
his head.
But did he ever
Gere
get his
has
chapstick?
Yeah.
It depends on who's asking.
He had a cold then. That's why he sounds like that.
Ah, okay.
That was such a fun episode. That was
Injured COVID-19.
Oh God.
Oh man.
No, man. Mothman wears a mask.
Oh, okay. He distances himself. That's why he can never
he's
catch him.
social distance.
Oh Lord.
Dimensional
And
distance.
maybe that's why we were seeing winged entities at O'Hare.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to warn us of this shit.
This next one is Crazy Cat Paranormal Speaks. Cecilia and John Clark, they're really good friends of mine. I really love them to death, and they're good people. And I've been on their podcast twice, so I'm pretty happy with them pushing us, and we're pushing them. So I'm just gonna play this clip.
No, but I actually is there a way, like, whenever you go home, are you able to shut that off, or is it always going on all the time?
I find if I'm out of the situation, it tones down a bit, but it's always going on. It's always flutzing in the back of my brain. And yeah, flutzing is a word. I just made it up, therefore it is a word.
Sometimes here at the house, just on a random weeknight evening or something like that, Cecilia will have a feeling, hey, we need to get this piece of equipment out and go in the backyard.
Yeah.
I don't think her antenna can be retracted. I think it's always
going.
out.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering because that's probably, it's to people, a lot of people say I want that, and a lot of people say, oh, I don't, so I just wanted to know where you were at on that.
I don't. I'm not unhappy having it. I don't want it to go away. But it does require a lot of energy. So if I go in a place that has got a lot of activity or there's a lot of emotion, it drains me like a battery, like a ghost on a battery. I'll say that.
That one has like an echo in it. For some reason, I felt like, I mean, because I put the clip a little bit too early because I was asking her abroad, because like she feels that she's a medium and then she picks up stuff like that. So I think I did that one wrong. So
Did it wrong.
But I was asking her, hey, do you turn it? I mean, whenever you have the sense of feeling, because she said that she would never see stuff, but she would feel it and sense it, but she would never see it. But I was asking her the question about, hey, do you turn it off or turn it on? I mean, I'm just curious. So that was one of the questions, and
that's another thing that I noticed that we've been doing a lot is saying fucking It's like, that's our drinking game.
Yeah,
Every time I say take a shot and then you'll die halfway through. But I did.
Take a drink.
God damn it! I immediately did it.
Salud. You're all right, Ash.
Oh god damn. Anyway, I was watching that episode for our upcoming guest, and he experienced things since he was a kid. But then they said he had a, no spoilers, but he had like a medical episode.
Yeah.
And he hasn't seen anything since. So that's interesting to me. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not really sure what all we're going to touch on, so I don't want to give away the story, but that's interesting. It made me think, because it's like, there's all kinds of stories where you have a traumatic event and then suddenly
you see stuff.
or
you sense it,
whatever. So it has to be something in the brain, obviously, and what pieces of it would control that.
I'll say this. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but when I was a kid, when I was like 6 or 7, I had an operation with my esophagus, and the doctor told my mom, he never told me, he told my mom that I had a 50-50 chance of living or dying. And I remember I was in surgery, and I think it was in 77, 76, and I was in surgery for 9 hours. And I remember coming out of it, I would see in the corner of my eye stuff all the time. And I think I told my mom one time, and then I think I had to go to church after that. But I recall, like, before that, I don't remember seeing stuff. But after that, I started seeing stuff in the corner of my eye all the time. And I don't think like I said, I think I told my mom one time, and I don't think I ever mentioned that to anybody else. But I would see stuff, not full on, but I would see stuff in the corner of my eye all the time. So
if you were that sick,
yeah,
I mean, that's
like 50-50 chance if those are the right odds on that, and then something that they haven't done. That's obviously, you did say that that's something that they haven't done. Like you said that they tried it on an older person, and then that person didn't make it.
Yeah, I think most of the older guys that had the same thing that I had, when they all died.
Wow.
Yeah,
and because I was a little kid, I was able to survive because I was a lot younger and I was stronger, and I don't know. That's what he explained to my mom.
So with that, and who knows? Yeah, maybe whenever you went under.
Yeah.
Either you can see or something was watching.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a malevolent thing, though.
Yeah. It could be anything that was coming by.
Right. Because, if anywhere is haunted, the damn hospital.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This last clip that we're going to play for this first anniversary show is Bigfoot Magazine. Still season 2, episode 21. This episode, to me, it meant a lot to me because, number one, it was a hard subject for me to talk about. And I had been putting it off. And I knew eventually I was going to talk about this. But I was putting it off. And I said, man, I got to do it. So, but this episode meant a lot to me because I had to get it off my chest. And I know Steven knows how I felt about this one, and I know I've talked to you off show, Ash, about this subject. And I think it was kind of what I kind of needed to do is right timing, because as soon as I did it, I ended up talking back to Matt, and and I was one of those things that I go, man, it was supposed to happen. I was supposed to do that show.
And now they're talking every night, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the phone every night, like teenage girls.
Yeah.
And I talked to Matt a good 2 hours whenever we were testing out the mic. He wanted me to know what was going on. He wanted me to just, release some venting.
Yeah.
So I talked to him for a good 2 hours, and it was good. It was something I needed. So.
Well, good. I'm glad. I was glad he reached out to you. That shows what type of person he is. So.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna play the clip real quick, then we'll talk about it.
I was still talking with a lot of guys that used to be in the TBRC, and so I was talking to Tim Clay about it, and I was talking to this other guy named Chad Scott, which I've never mentioned before on this podcast. He was the Oklahoma lead in the TBRC. He was, I think he was out of Ardmore, and he had like 4 guys under him. And I got, he didn't get along with Craig, so I instantly became friends with him. So he and I got really close, like really quick.
Speaking of pervs and people's inboxes.
Yeah. So I was talking to him about the magazine, and he introduced me to this guy named Matt Knapp out of Tulsa. And I had seen Matt online a couple times and posting stuff, and I think it was the Alabama Bigfoot Alabama chat rooms and stuff like that. So
OG, man.
Yeah, big time. So he was on there, and we ended up talking on the phone a lot, and we were chatting online a lot and stuff, and really liked the dude, man. He's a good dude. He was very articulate and spoke really, really logically about Bigfoot and ideas and stuff. His ideas kind of mirrored mine, and so, so I had pitched the idea to him, to Matt, and to Chad, and to Tim about all of us doing this magazine. And I think at the time, this kind of hurts me a little bit, but Tim and I didn't see eye to eye on some stuff, and I love him to death, and it hurts me to say that.
It happens.
Yeah.
In every relationship.
Yeah.
Friendship and family, whatever.
So Tim went about doing something else, and then I continued on with Chad and Matt, and then I had the idea of moving up to Tulsa. So.
Best idea ever.
That was the best idea ever.
Tulsa in Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Both of those are from Vanderpump Rules, by the way. Well, no, one of them is from a podcast, but it's still the cast.
Yeah. That was, I just picked that clip because I wanted to just talk about who I was getting involved with and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was a good episode. I really, really enjoyed that one because I had a lot of stuff that was still on my chest and stuff probably still having anxiety about. So, so I was able to talk about it, get it off, and
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. I mean, because actually I felt better after doing that show.
Right, right.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
It was very therapeutic, so I was pretty happy with that. And like I said, I ended up talking to Matt after that, so that was actually good timing, because I think he actually went back and listened. He listened to the episode, and
yeah, because he was telling me stuff that I said that I forgot that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember that at all because I don't listen to myself.
Yeah, because like we were talking about Matt, and we say, "Hey, brother, I sure hope you're listening." And you said something about, "Hey, if you come on the show, I get to ask you questions or something." Or you said something
I don't
along
remember.
the. Yeah, I don't recall either.
I want everybody to come on the show too. I do.
Yeah.
So it makes my job easy.
Yeah. I know I got 10 more clips, and we can do another show about that one. So, anniversary part 2 or something. So,
yeah, 'cause we gotta do some filler while, because you're gonna be in New York and
Connecticut,
and I'm going to be in Arkansas.
So,
and I'm going to be here.
I think we covered a lot of ground for this first episode, this first anniversary celebration episode. Yeah. So
cake, guys, cake.
Yeah, we gotta.
Our address is.
I know, right?
We need to open up a PO box for cake.
Pretty soon we'll get sponsors.
Oh Lord.
Hey, I wanted to say thanks to both of y'all for doing promos, and I know Steven was on last week's promo. You're gonna be on this week.
Ooh.
So
yeah,
exciting.
Yeah.
Don't listen to my throat clicks.
She did it all in one take.
But what you don't realize is I read that like 10 million times beforehand.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna say that.
But well, I did do it on one take. I mean, it's edited.
Yeah.
But one take.
It came out good.
Yeah.
Both of y'all came out really good, so I'm pretty happy on that.
Which is great because I'm dyslexic as fuck. So me reading out loud is like my nightmare.
Yeah, Crazy Cat Paranormal was the one that I was like, oh, I could say that. And whenever I said it, I think I said it on there. Crazy Cat Kettle. Oh, shit.
Kitty go.
Kitty go, kitty gee.
Yeah. sound like a Jawa.
Oh.
Star Wars references. Which, speaking, Mandalorian starts this month.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to dedicate a segment to that. So,
the last 20 minutes talking about Mandalorian.
Yeah, then we'll break away and just start doing Mandalorian podcast.
Well, you know, anything to like be in the same room with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And Rosario Dawson and Taika Waititi, and it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me.
I have spoken.
And what's her name? Banks.
Yeah. Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Is on the show
I'm
as
curious.
well.
I'm curious to see how she did on that one. So.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people going to be in this new season.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hope that she doesn't get upset because there's gonna be fans of her of the Star Wars thing, and they're gonna be like, I don't want to sign autographs.
Yeah, that was her thing on when she was the WWE champion.
I hope she got over that.
She didn't want to sign autographs. This was like way before the pandemic,
Yeah.
and she just didn't want to do it. And the WWE stripped her from her title because
Wow. Well, I mean, that's kind of a congeniality thing,
yeah,
right?
You got to do it. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
I mean, I can understand like if you're out in your normal life, but you gotta kind of.
If you sign with WWE,
that's one of those. Like,
you sign your life to them.
Stuff.
Yeah, you sign your life to him because like Cena, man, that guy's nonstop. I mean, he's nonstop.
Dude, yeah. What was it? Oh, of course, one of the whitest kids things. But one of them said back before he was famous, they worked with him and just how much of a badass he was, like dedicated, just like do stuff and he was funny as shit and just hard worker and just seems like anything that he does completely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I feel like we're doing a wrestling podcast or something.
Well, it's kind of, it happens. This
Ringside View.
Earl of Pearl, where are you?
Earl of Pearl.
It's probably
is that his real picture, like a recent picture of him?
That was, I think, on July 4th.
Okay, because he has got a wizardly beard.
Yeah, he had a beard. He had a beard whenever we were getting ready to leave Tulsa. So Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa in a place. Have you heard of this place called Tulsa? It's in Oklahoma. I need to get a.
I want you to get if you could get on the next episode whenever y'all do the Ringside podcast. I want him to like just say like real quick, "You're a wizard, Harry."
You're what?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Okay, I'll tell him.
I don't know if he's seen Harry. I don't know if he's seen Harry Potter.
I'm sure he's got kids.
Well,
I'm sure he
I
has.
mean, even if that's kind of common knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that beard. It's magnificent.
But I think I can do something with this show here.
Yeah, I hope so. And if not, then we wasted our fucking time. Thanks a lot, Robert.
Oh wait, did you press record?
Oh God damn it!
I'm assuming that's a yes. I'm getting mixed feelings now.
I think the last episode is at 199. I think. I don't know why I did that last episode. It was like so damn loud. I think.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I did grandma calls.
Yeah. Oh dang! Really?
I gotta.
Oh dang!
We gotta cut it here because.
I thought we already did. You
No.
We were just having a conversation.
we can have a good night right here, right?
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Okay.
I must bid you adieu. And so, goodbye. Mwah. And good night.